No?
All righty.
Good evening. Welcome to the Select Board meeting for Wednesday, January 15th at 7 p.m. in the Hollis Community Building. On my left is Roger Hicks. On my right is Jack Regala. My name is Mary Hoffman. We're your Select Board. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Under old business, who would like to give an update on the new municipal town office construction?
Either way, it's they're moving around with all electrical and plumbing down in the basement. All the lines are being laid in there for
Radiant
radiant heat. Yeah, I got it in my place. I can't even think of it.
Yep.
Radiant heat. So they're moving along down there, and some of the steel framing is going up on top side. So they're making progress. I hope the weather holds and they
And
keep
we're really
going.
excited about the progress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
really.
we did pick the elevator colors, so we could order the elevator. So,
Yes.
Yeah, so hopefully they should be pouring the basement floor first of next week.
There's supposed to be a.
And if it stays much colder, I'm going to live in the basement.
Yeah, it's
Where
pretty
it's
warm
warm.
down there.
And who wants to update on the town manager hiring committee?
We're moving right along with the hiring committee. We've got our timeline done. The questions for the interview and the job description's complete. Now we should be going out to advertise for the newspapers and I'm sure Bennett has a list of all of them that we'll start putting that out.
And so we did review with the finance committee last night, and I'll let Roger give you an update on what we estimate the town manager cost to be.
It's gonna go up between $30,000 and $40,000 with everything added in.
So that would be an increase from what the 5-member select board, town manager, ordinance committee estimated. So it'd be about 30 to 40,000 more than that, just so everybody knows. And we are putting that in the budgets.
It's under admin, right?
Is under the
Yes.
administrative budget. Animal control officer, we're very excited to announce that we have hired or appointed Sean Cabral
Mm-hmm.
as our new animal control officer. He will be having a phone, but he hasn't picked it up yet. So once he has a phone, we will post the number on the web page. We still will have, I can't think of his name. Dave Lonsby will still be our deputy and will be available to help Sean if he has any questions. Under new business, we have a medical cannabis cultivation application for Eric Hebersky for Kabursky Industries. It's located at Green Roots, 62 Hollis Road. He's applied for a medical cannabis cultivation license. It's in the same location as Greenwoods. Code has inspected it and doesn't have any problems with it. So I need and it's a renewal license, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the application for Eric Kabursky for
Medical.
Kabursky Industries located Green Roots, 62 Hollis Road, medical cannabis cultivation.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. And then we have a warrant for February 19, 2025, a special town meeting for amendments to the ordinance to establish a 5-member select board town manager form of government. And so the special town meeting is going to be on February 19th, 2025. Terry Waters, a resident of the town of Hollis in the county of York, state of Maine, will be posting it. And it has the usual language about that we will be having the meeting at 35 Town Farm Road on Wednesday, the 19th day of February, 2025, at 7 p.m. in the evening for the purpose of acting on the following articles. And we were required to notify everybody. So Article 1 is to elect a moderator by written ballot to preside at said town meeting. Article 2 is shall an ordinance entitled 2025 Amendments to the Town of Hollis, Maine Ordinance to establish a 5-member select board, manager form of government be enacted, copy reprinted below. So the Town of Hollis, Maine Ordinance to establish a 5-member select board town manager form of government shall be amended as follows. Additions are underlined and deletions are struck out, and this will be available on our webpage. And it's section 1.9 transition plan. And the plan reads, 1 year after the approval of this ordinance, June 2025, the select board shall utilize the annual town meeting election to elect 2 additional select board members to constitute a 5-member select board. 1 newly elected select board member will serve, and we're changing it from a 3-year term to a 1-year term. The other newly elected select board members will serve a 2-year term. And we're deleting the following paragraph, or following sentence. New members' terms will be determined by the highest popular vote, with the nominee with the highest number of votes serving the 3-year term, and the nominee with the second highest number of votes serving the 2-year term. And we're deleting that because it's illegal to do it that way. The staggered 3-year terms of the 3 current select board members shall remain the same. Separate nomination papers will be taken out for each of the 3 specific seats, each with their own specific term of office. A 1-year term, a 2-year term, or a 3-year term. Given under our hands this 15th day of January 2025. And we'll be signing this tonight and giving it to Martha. And the only thing she wanted us to remind you is you must be present to vote. No absentee ballots are available for this special town meeting.
Very good.
So are there any questions?
So the special town meeting, you have to be present. It will be just that night at the meeting where we'll have a vote on this special meeting.
And it's basically just to change the terms of office that they proposed to allowing for a 1-year and a 2-year term. Do we need to vote or anything, Bennett?
No,
I
we're
don't
just
think so.
signing the
No.
warrant.
We're just signing. Okay. All right.
No, why don't you make a motion to accept it as written?
So-
I'll make a motion and accept it as written.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next thing on the agenda is to schedule a public hearing for February 19th, 2025 special town meeting warrant on February 5th, 2025 at 7 p.m. So I need a motion to schedule the public hearing on February 5th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Make a motion, we schedule a public hearing for February 5th, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Then we have an automobile graveyard permit application from Trident Auto Sales, 550 Hollis Road. And we have a note from the code enforcement officer, Dwayne Hanson. He says, to the select board, there have been no significant changes to the property at 550 Hollis Road since last year, so I see no reason not to allow it for another year. So,
Make a motion, we approve the auto graveyard permit application for Trident Auto Sales, 550 Hollis Road.
Second.
any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We got lots of signatures tonight.
Mm.
And then our next order of business is an amendment to the consent agreement with Van Hertel Jr. And so we're going to amend our consent agreement that we had made with him earlier, and I'll read the amendment to you. This first amendment to the consent agreement, the amendment is entered into by and between the inhabitants of the town of Hollis, a municipality organized and existing under the laws of the state of Maine, whose mailing address is 34 Town Farm Road, Hollis, Maine 04042, and Van Hertel Jr., an individual with a mailing address of 5 Shady Creek Lane, Scarborough, Maine 04074. Whereas Hertel is a developer of certain subdivision entitled Harmon Farm Estates, which is more publicly shown on a certain subdivision plan approved by the Hollis Planning Board on August 25th, 2021, and is recorded in the York County Registry of Deeds in Plan Book 418, page 21. And whereas Hertel failed to complete certain infrastructure improvements within Harmon Farm Estates, which were required as part of the Hollis Planning Board's approval of the same, and whereas the town and Hertel later entered into a consent agreement dated October 2nd, 2024, which among other things required Hertel to complete such infrastructure improvements by certain dates, and whereas Hertel has not completed such infrastructure improvements by the appointed dates, but instead has asked for the town to extend the time frame within which he may do so, and whereas the town wishes to extend such deadlines, but only upon the terms and conditions contained within this amendment. Now, therefore, the party hereby agrees as follows. Extension of deadlines. The deadlines originally set in paragraphs 2, 4, and 7 of the consent agreement are extended to June 15, 2025. Such deadlines will not be extended beyond June 15, 2025 for any reason whatsoever. Cost of litigation. Should the town be required to enforce the terms of the consent agreement and or the amendment by resorting to litigation as specified in paragraph 9 of the consent agreement, and the town is the prevailing party in such litigation, Hertel should reimburse the town for all costs incurred in such litigation, including attorney fees. Only changes, unless otherwise stated in this amendment, the consent agreement remains unchanged and in full force and effect. And then we'll all be signing. In witness whereof, the parties have executed this amendment to consent agreement effective on the last date appearing below, and we'll all be signing it today, the 15th of January. So, do we need to make a motion to
Make a motion,
approve?
we accept the amended consent agreement with Van Hertel Jr.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we're going to do approval of meeting minutes. December 18th, 2024. We had an executive session at 3 p.m. And so I just need a motion. And then we had a regular meeting at 7 p.m. Everyone was in attendance, and everybody has reviewed the meeting minutes and approved them.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting
Second.
minutes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then, last but least for me, I have an appointment from Martha Huff from the municipality of Hollis on January 15th, 2025, to Martha Huff of Hollis in the county of York and state of Maine. We do in accordance with the provisions of the laws of the state of Maine hereby appoint you as Registrar of Voters within and for the municipality of Hollis, Maine, serving a term until January 1st, 2027. Given under our hands the 15th day of February, 2025. Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
Wrong date. It's the 15th of January.
Last year.
No, it says 15th of February.
Oh, I can,
So we'll just make that change and sign this so we can appoint her. So
Yep.
I need a motion to appoint her with that change.
Make a motion to appoint Martha as Register of Voter.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we're to Roger's favorite point,
Yeah.
payroll and warrant totals. And if I remember right, he has extras.
Extras?
Extras because we didn't have a meeting.
Ah.
So
Warrant,
we'll take a nap.
okay. Warrant, week of December 23rd, $583,593. That was partly due to the normal warrant and R.J. Granding rebuilding Mansion Road. Warrant week of December 30th, $252,541. Last week's warrant, $215,602. And this week's warrant is $533,372, and that's partially because of the school. Payroll, week of December 23rd, $33,945. Payroll, week of December 30th, $31,358. Payroll last week, $34,750. And payroll this week, $32,772. Purchase orders, 4456. It's fire tech safety from Chief Young for tool adapters and connectors for the Scott bottles, not to exceed $1,330. 4494. Coastal T-shirts from DevTech at the Rec Department, soccer team shirts for fall, and staff shirts, not to exceed $1498.50. 4508, MLD installations. Install metal door at the sports complex, the concession stand, not to exceed $2,150. And there's your payroll warrants.
And that's it. Thank you. And
And
then,
purchase orders.
oh, you got purchase orders, or we didn't have
I
them?
already did them.
Oh, you're already done with them.
Yeah.
I went to sleep. And then we have some correspondence and announcements. The Saco River Corridor Commission will hold a public hearing beginning at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, at the Dayton Town Hall in Dayton, Maine. The subject of the public hearing is a request from Timothy M. and Janet L. Johnson for a petition to redistrict their property located on Salmon Falls Road, map 2, lot 7 in Hollis, Maine, from the Resource Protection District to the Limited Residential District. Information with respect to this request is available from the Commission's office located at 81 Marble Street in Cornish, Maine. In order to be considered by the Commission, any written comments must be received in the Commission's office no later than 5 p.m. on January 22nd, 2025. Mail comments should be sent to P.O. Box 283, Cornish, Maine, 04020. Oral testimony will be taken at the public hearing.
All right. Our emergency medical subscription program for 2025 is still open. To renew or apply for coverage, please stop into the town hall or call Bennett at 298-9708 to have a form mailed to you. Applications are also available on our website, www.hollismaine.org.
Then we don't have any other business listed. We have upcoming town committee and board meetings.
Can I bring that up?
Yeah.
With other business,
Sure.
when I mentioned and talked about moving this meeting back to 6 p.m. instead of 7,
Okay.
can I make a motion to that?
Yep.
Can I?
Of course you can.
I'd like to make a motion that we change this meeting, select board meeting, back to, did we ever have 6 p.m. instead of 7 p.m.?
So, is everybody that does the broadcasting for us available at 6 p.m.?
Okay? Uh-oh.
I think that they kept the meetings at 7 p.m. is so that the people that work for the town hall can also attend the meetings. And
But
since
that hasn't been the case.
I understand that, not all the time.
Well, we're coming into warrant review
Mhm.
and budget review, and people are going to be upset if they work at the town, if they can't come and at least participate if they want to.
I'll withdraw it then.
So maybe,
That's the only pushback that I can see that you would
so
get. I'm
maybe
just
we
being
could
honest.
consider doing it when, right after we do the warrant.
I'll get past that.
And then we could make it as 6 until we get back to another warrant period.
That's my suggestion.
Because
No, but
that's really
good.
the only
I'm
time.
glad you pointed it out. I
That's
thought-
really
but
the only time-
When we get past the
yeah.
warrant thing, I think then,
That's really the only time
know.
we really get a lot of participation from
Okay.
the town
yes.
Yeah.
office.
All right.
So,
Thank you.
great suggestion, and we'll put it on, we'll table it,
That's- we'll
as we
table it.
learned last night,
Put it
right?
on the back
We'll
burner.
table it.
Yeah, we'll table it.
Upcoming town committees and board meetings. Comprehensive Planning Committee meeting on Tuesday, January 21st at 11 a.m. It will be here in the community building. We don't know for sure whether it'll be upstairs or downstairs, but it'll be here. The planning board meeting on Wednesday, January 22nd at 7 p.m. They did submit an agenda and wanted me to share it with you. So the agenda for their meeting on Wednesday, January 22nd is a call to order, roll call, correspondence, reports from the CEO, select board committees, review of the meeting minutes from 1/8/25. Old business is Robert's Rules of Order policy, ethics policy draft from the select board, and the growth ordinance draft from the select board. New business is to remove the definition of restaurant in the zoning ordinance. Then they'll have public comment, plan for the next meeting to schedule their public hearings and adjourn. And if they have time for a workshop, they do Southern Maine Planning and Development Commission propose updates to subdivision regulations and definitions, use table, performance standard changes.
Why would we remove the word restaurant out of the?
Well, I'm interested in going. I think I just glanced at it, and there's 4 different definitions, and they feel, according to what I read before I came over here, that those 4 definitions are very confusing and would make businesses that might want to have a restaurant not consider having a restaurant here.
Okay.
And I only glanced at the definitions, and I would have to agree with them that it's confusing. It's all these definitions about whether they're indoors, outdoors, whether they're a trailer, whether they're a camper. So there's like 4 of them. So maybe it's time for a change on the restaurants.
Okay.
Because, you know, a lot of restaurants have indoor and outdoor where you can eat, and, you know. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll give you a report at the next board meeting on restaurants. Finance Committee on Tuesday, January 28th at 6 p.m. And then we'll have the Select Board meeting and the public hearing on our special town meeting on February 5th at 7 p.m. Is there any public to comment? Anybody on Zoom?
Nothing? Nobody?
Okay, any other thoughts before we adjourn?
Well, I'm just glad to see that the kids, I mean, there was a lot of kids out there skating on the pond today. So it's exciting to see that.
You wouldn't have
they're
seen
enjoying
me
it.
out there, too cold.
Yeah, you know, glad we got rid of the cattails.
Yeah.
And the pond looks good, and they looked great out there, but I kept thinking, I wonder if we have a policy on what the wind chill has to be to call them in. But they were all having a great time,
Yeah.
so. Anything else? Anything from any of our staff? No? All right, Jack, you're up.
Okay, at this time, I make a motion to adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
Second. Thank
All
you,
those in
everybody.
favor?
Yeah, well.
Thanks,
I
everybody, for
usually say that.
listening.
Have a great evening.
Yeah.